Yes guys, welcome back to another episode of the MONOPOSTO track guide series. Today we have episode number 6 and we are going to be taking a look at the Miami International Autodrome, the newest circuit in Formula 1 that was first introduced back in 2022. So I'm quite looking forward to this one. Actually, this is one of the circuits that I've grown to really enjoy driving since this new update. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Be sure to like, share and subscribe if you're looking forward to this video, if you're finding it helpful. And now let's dive in. Okay, so here we are in the pit lane at Miami. Now, we are first of all, of course, going to talk about the setup that we are going to use in this track. And as you can see, it's on screen now. That's the kind of position where you want to put the sliders. It's relatively balanced setup overall, because obviously there's high-speed S's in the first sector. There's also very long straights here. And there is also a very tight, twisty Mickey Mouse chicane section at the end of the middle sector. So you want a fine balance, although I personally prefer to have slightly less downforce just because it's helpful in the long straights. Okay then, so as you can see, we are now approaching the final corner in preparation to start the lap. There's a very obvious braking marker at the 100 meter board, or by that massive green overbridge as you've just seen. You want to take a slightly wider line to maximize the entry into the corner to carry the most speed. Don't go over the curb. However, you can ride this curb on the outside and then it's straight up into ERS. Obviously straight on the power. DRS will be opening just here, and then initially you want to bring your car over to the left hand side as we approach to brake for turn 1. You are going to brake at the 50 meter board, and now I'm going to show you a hack which not many people would probably know how to do, and that is, in Miami you can quite literally just take the pit exit, because unlike most other tracks in this game, there is no curbing or anything to stop you from using the pit exit. So rather than taking a wide line, you can literally cut across, take this trajectory, and that will actually save you heaps of time. As you can see, this was what I managed to do in my hot lap. Because otherwise, if you steer too wide and you take a wide line, it obviously means that you're going to lose time. As you come through turn 2 and turn 3, which is a long right-hander, over to the left-hand side, then bring the car back over to the right here. And now this corner is the first of the this is quite a high-speed corner now. This track, no braking. What I do is I just lift off the power. However, you do have to lift off the power. As you see, if you keep your car totally on the power, you're just going to spin out. So you want to make sure that you do lift off the throttle, and then you want to get back on. So no braking for this corner, just let the car glide through. You want to turn in quite early though, and then by the time you're coming through here, you might need to make a little bit of a stab on the brakes through this corner, and then you can get back on the power, bring your car over to the right hand side. And again, for this next corner, which is by where the marina is, you can just lift off the power completely once again. You don't need to brake. However, you want to make sure you take you want to make sure your car's on the left hand side through the corner, and on the exit, this is crucial. You want to make sure you don't turn in too early. Sometimes if you turn in too late, you can just completely oversteer off the track. This is the line you want to take. So you want to ride the inside curb, and then you're just perfectly pretty much running your right hand tyres along that white line there, but not over it, because as you can see, there's like a change in the texture. There's a different colour grey, because that's gravel. So you don't want to bring your car any further out than here really, and then you can just smoothly on the power. Otherwise you're going to need to lift off. So this is the point where you want to be aiming for when you want to get back on the power. About here, we're going to slow it down. You can see you come out the corner and bang, you're just perfectly, practically kissing that white line. That's where you want to be. That's the way you can make the most of that corner, use the whole width of the track. Then this is arguably the longest straight on the whole track. All of these are just kinks really, up into ERS. DRS opens now. You keep the car on the left hand side initially, and then once you get to that inside of that yellow crane, you start and aim straight and gradually bring your car over to the right hand side naturally. But this is the tightest section of the track just coming up. You're braking at the 100 meter board this time. Braking any later than that, as you can see, or steering in too sharply will just cause the car to spin. So you want to brake at the 100 meter board, turn in relatively early, and that way you can ensure that don't hit either of the curbs in this corner. Make sure of that. You don't hit this curb on the right hand side, don't hit the inside curb. You want to make sure that you turn in, that you effectively narrowly brush the white line, but don't run over that curb. Keep the car in the middle of the track really, and then as you come round this section, you want to slight lift off the power about here and back on by the time you get to that red advertising board on the right hand side. So in other words, there is a black advertising board, lift off there, back on the power at the red one. This corner, this really tight Mickey Mouse section chicane underneath the highway, this is what happens when you don't lift off the power. So for this, you can just attack that corner nicely. However, if you build up too much speed, you need to lift off, otherwise you will just effectively spin out. So you want to bring your car on the right hand side, turn in early for the chicane. You can attack it over to the right again, narrow apex for the next corner, and then really open it up on the exit. You want to make sure your car's as far right as possible, and then this is the back straight. This is effectively going down towards the final corner. You get ARS, DRS all the way down here. This is relatively simple. And then, as you said, getting towards the final corner, then it is braking. You can brake at the 100-meter board if you feel more comfortable. I personally brake at the green advertising board. You can see the shadow of it. However, it's important this time that you don't brake too late, that you do kill the speed off, slow in, fast out. That's what they say. That is what they say in Formula 1. That is one of the key. That is key actually to being quick at this track, is to make sure that you can brake slightly earlier to keep the car going so that you don't spin around. But yeah, definitely you can see where the black shadow is. You want to brake just as you're starting that. So yeah, by this point you already want to be on the brakes, cruising down. It will probably be second or third gear that you'll take this corner in. Don't take the inside curb, but use the curb on the outside as much as you like on the exit. And that's the final corner then. All of this is flat. Just take the shallowest line, the narrowest inside line possible, all the way down the pit straight. Keep the car on this side of the track, open DRS. And that concludes our lap of Miami. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to play my lap in full now. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, share and subscribe if you found it helpful. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord server. Both links are in the description below. And I'll see you all in the next video.